Purgatory 18. Do the sufferings of these purgatories surpass all those here upon earth? Are the sufferings of this purgatory, which is after the individual judgment, more severe than anything we might imagine, than anything we could have experienced on earth? So I will say that the tradition of the saints has always said yes, that these sufferings were considerably worse. In reality, by analyzing such issues with modern psychology and perhaps with common sense, we know that the most difficult moment in purgatory is when first seeing Christ, who is obviously quite pure, but who wanted to go through it and who all the same saw his soul change. The most difficult moment is despair. When you lose your treasure, he said when, upon the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? Because he lived the experience of someone like us as if God had abandoned him. It was indeed despair for him also. As for the mother losing her only child on earth, is indeed despair if this child had been her treasure. Similarly, for a miser whose treasure is his gold accumulated over a lifetime, and all of a sudden it has been stolen, he is in despair. So the question that arises, what is the greatest suffering? Where is it experienced? Is it in the next world, or is it while upon this earth? For my part, I think rather that it is when one knows despair, whether upon this earth or in the passage of death, or while facing Christ at the hour of death, or after death in purgatory. It is when we know this experience of despair, that we call also the night of the mind, that we experience the worst suffering. I would say it is worse than anxiety. Anguish is what Jesus saw in the Garden of Olives. Watch with me because the flesh is weak. He begs his disciples to help him, and an angel finally helps him. Well, there is worse than anguish, even if it is terrible suffering. Anguish, which makes some people throw themselves under trains. It's despair. When we have lived it, we cannot laugh at the miser who has had his gold stolen. We cannot laugh. We never laugh at a mother who has lost her child. But we also understand how Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus, who loses the very presence of God, can also experience despair and say, I understand those who kill themselves. So consequently, in this respect, whether in the next world or on this earth, we cannot measure what is the most difficult of such suffering. A day of despair on this earth may seem like a century. However, on this earth we have a possibility to escape for a while, to rest on occasions by sleeping, by eating Nutella, by indulging, if possible, some activities that allow you to get out of your horrible thoughts. In the depths of despair, we can't do it, I'm well aware, but sleep all the same. In the next world where the biological body has disappeared, it must be said that in the purgatory of this time, the fifth purgatory, the person does not sleep. It is only centered on its perpetual despair. It has no biological body. It only has a psychic body. So in this respect, it is without remedy, without rest. It is in this respect more severe than while on this earth.